fastest show in sports.
It's not often I talk about professional golf on this show, but what's happening right now between the PGA Tour, LIV Golf, Brooks Koepka, and some other golfers simply cannot be ignored. Because this one is, at one shot, hysterical. At another shot, puzzling. And in another case, it has to be something that we discuss when it comes down to blood money, because that's what we've got involved here. Brooks Koepka took an offer from LIV Golf. Oh, what seems like many, many moons ago, but just a couple of years ago. He decided, like so many others, to leave the PGA Tour because LIV Golf was offering tremendous amounts of money, international golf. He had a chance to be part of something. So he and others said, bye-bye PGA Tour. So the PGA Tour says, okay, Brooks, if that's what you want to do, then you're out. That's it. Over, said and done, goodbye. You are going to be with LIV Golf for the rest of your career, and you're not coming back to the PGA. Couldn't be more simple than that. And as a matter of fact, at the time, I applauded the PGA. Because what you have here are individuals who are, quite frankly, trying to break the PGA. They wanted to create some kind of a synergy between LIV Golf and the PGA Tour. And oh yeah, we'll get to LIV Golf in just a minute because there's a whole lot there that needs to be taken into account. So Koepka leaves. So do others. Well, guess what? Things, I guess, aren't going too well for Brooks these days. So he decides, I want to come back to the PGA Tour. Let's remember that the PGA Tour told him, you're out. That's it. Goodbye. And it's not as if Brooks Koepka is the kind of a guy that fans are going to go out there and they're going to say, ooh, I got to buy tickets today because I got to see Koepka. It's not that. Sure, the guy's got his share of wins. Certainly he created a name for himself on the PGA Tour. But what? He's a draw? Not any more than anybody else. It's not like people are going to say, I got to come see him. Nope, that's it. So the PGA Tour was left basically saying, we don't need you. And they didn't need you. But suddenly, Koepka decides he wants to come back in. The PGA Tour says, well, we're going to come up with something called the Returning Member Program. Ooh, we're going to give you a chance to come back. What the hell for? I mean, seriously, I am not a golfer. I do it occasionally, and I get out there and I look terrible at it. But I've been covering the sport for almost 30 years. Long ways back to the PGA, the LPGA Tour, the Seniors Tour. I know the game inside and out. Also, I know the people inside and out. And the PGA Tour, I thought, did exactly the right thing. Because over the years, with Koepka and others, they tried to help LIV Golf get involved, create a merger with the PGA Tour, maybe even buy them. Because, again, LIV Golf is run by the Saudis. And the Saudi Arabian government has untold amounts of money. And they want to be the big guns on the field. Right? So here comes Koepka saying, things aren't working out. The PGA Tour says, okay, we'll let you back in. Look, I get it. There are those of you out there who are going to say, well, Ed, why not? Everybody deserves a second chance. No, he doesn't. Koepka doesn't deserve a second chance. The others who left for LIV Golf don't deserve a second chance because they were told that you are out. So here comes Koepka, and the PGA Tour says, well, we're going to hit you with fines, and you can't be part of this tournament, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. And you can come on back in. I don't get it. I'm right up front with you. I just don't get it. Because Koepka's not the kind of guy that the PGA Tour needs. Not only that, but he's a turncoat. He basically decided that he was going to run against the PGA Tour. Because Koepka, like so many of the others who signed with LIV Golf, were thinking that, hey, we're going to be on this ground floor, and we're going to make a tremendous amount of money. And they did. And therein lies the next part of this story. And that comes down to the insane amount of money that Koepka and the others have walked away with. When Brooks Koepka signed with LIV Golf, he got a bonus. And everybody who signed at the time, PGA Tour professionals, got themselves a nice bonus. And again, remember, we're dealing with the Saudi Arabian government here. They've got billions of dollars. They've got plenty of money to spend. And there's a reason why. So they give Koepka $100 to $130 million in a bonus. And as far as his winnings are concerned, he's probably got anywhere between $45 and $50 million that he has cashed from LIV Golf. So here's Koepka sitting here. He's got anywhere from $100 to $200 million. He's set for life. He's got nothing to worry about. Oh, but he wants to come back and play golf because he wants to play with the big boys now. He's tired of playing with the kids. He wants to get back on the PGA Tour. No more consigliere. That's it. You're out. But they let him back in. And not only that, but the PGA Tour then says, we're going to go ahead and let some other golfers in. Because here's the list. They decided that Bryson DeChambeau, Jon Rahm, and Cameron Smith could all come back in. But you had to come back in by the 2nd of February. That's it. This program is only going to be eligible for a certain amount of time, and then you'll no longer be able to win your PGA Tour prizes. But these guys, DeChambeau, Rahm, and Smith, all decide, we don't want to come in. Fine. And as a matter of fact, let's look at the money again. Because DeChambeau got $125 million to join LIV Golf. He's probably walked away with, because he was one of the better PGA Tour professionals there, about $150 million in winnings. Again, here's a guy who's got between $100 and $200 million. He doesn't need the money. Then you've got Rahm, $75 million signing bonus, and he's probably earned up to about $300 million during his time there. And Smith, $100 million signing bonus, probably with anywhere close to $50 million in earnings. So what you've got here is 3 guys who walked away from the tour out of nothing more than insatiable greed. That's all it was. They didn't give one spit about playing the best golf in the world. And let's not kid ourselves here. And I'll tell you what, I'll take on all comers on this one. The PGA Tour still has the finest golfers in the world. That's why you get people from all over the world who want to get their PGA Tour card, because it is the best competition. So the PGA Tour offers that competition, but these are guys who simply said, I'm going to cash in. I'll take the money and I'll walk away. Fine. Then walk away. Then don't come back. And the trio said, no, we don't want to come back. We're dedicated to LIV Golf, and we're going to stay there. We're going to play out our career here. Yeah, right. I'm just going to go ahead, and this is an offshoot right now. I'm going to wait until the time comes around when any one of these 3 clowns decides they want to come back to the PGA Tour because they're tired of hanging out and LIV Golf, and see what the PGA Tour says then. Maybe we'll have another program. Maybe we'll have another, here's a possibility to come back in. But it's doubtful they ever will, because they are making millions. And that brings up another part of this. Not just the greed of the golfers, but where that money comes from, what it is tainted with, and why anybody who has played for the LIV Golf Tour, who has taken a penny of the money from the Saudis, is a reprehensible, despicable human being who certainly doesn't deserve second chances, doesn't deserve third chances, and can pretty much stay where they're at. This is sportswashing. Now, for those of you who haven't been paying attention, sportswashing was basically coined by the Saudis, or for the Saudis, if you will. The Saudi Arabian government is one of the worst human rights abusers in the world today. I challenge you, go on to any search engine that you want, type in Saudi Arabia human rights abuses. Bang! You will be hit with a stunning amount of fact and information about how the Saudis hurt and kill their own people, repress women as often as they possibly can, jail prisoners, take their government and make people basically kowtow to them, to kneel down to them, take the knee, if you will, because they are the overlords. But it's even worse. The Saudis are killers. The Saudis are murderers. They murder their own people. And not only that, they murder journalists. That's my career. I've been doing this my entire life. And I take offense at what they did to a gentleman named Jamal Khashoggi. And again, go ahead, get on the internet and go ahead and look it up. Khashoggi was a journalist who was talking about Saudi Arabia, who was revealing all the various human rights abuses, the negativity, the things that the Saudis quash because they own their media there, they own their press, and only the good things come out. So the Saudis had decided that we're going to sports wash. We're going to use sports to basically wash us up, take our reputation, shine it up, make it real nice and good so the world likes us and we can get away with whatever we want. They're doing it right now as we speak. Women's professional tennis, Formula One racing, soccer. The Saudis are deep in it with their sponsorships, their money, and their investments. They are spending near billions of dollars to make everybody see that we're just a benevolent bunch of human beings and we just want to play sports like everybody else. They butchered Jamal Khashoggi. They killed him. They lured him to the embassy. They took him, murdered him. The investigation shows they cut him up into pieces and they got rid of him. Never found the body. Khashoggi died. The investigations are out there. Look it up. These are bloodthirsty killers. And that's where the money is going. Anybody who takes money from the Saudi Arabian government right now when it comes down to sports, you're part and parcel of the problem because you're taking the blood money. You're there. You're living in it. You're breathing in it. You're soaking in it. Because the money the Saudis have that they're putting out there to sports wash and make everything look real good is the same money they use to repress their people, subject their people to violence, basically keep their women as nothing more than farm animals, and kill people. So in essence, you have Brooks Koepka, who took the money from the Saudis. Everything was happy and dandy, and he made hundreds of millions of dollars. So the PGA Tour comes in and says, we're going to fine you a lot of money. Ooh, boy. For Brooks, he's going to take it out and he'll run it out of cash because he's got that much money. He is set for life. The other golfers that I mentioned and anybody else playing for LIV, you're taking blood money. The money that you take is also used to kill people, to repress people, to torture people. So Koepka comes back in now. And frankly, when he comes back on tour, I guarantee you, most people won't say a word. Because most people want to look the other way. They still do. When a guy like him, when a league takes the money, they don't care. It's not a big deal. Why? Because you don't live it. You're not in it. You're not part of it. I've seen it. I have friends there. I know what happens. And the Saudis are butchers. And that's where their money goes. So what is it going to be like when Koepka steps back onto a PGA Tour event? What is it going to be like for the fans in the stands? Are they going to say anything? Are they going to yell anything at him? Are they going to protest? They might. They might. But then again, we need to hold him, and I'm not willing to give him a second chance. You took the money. You came back because you got sick and tired of playing on the LIV Tour, or for whatever reason. He may never tell us the real reason. Maybe he wanted to come back and be part of the PGA Tour again where the best golfers in the world play. And the PGA Tour, for whatever godly reason, and I'll never know this, somebody's going to have to get down to the bottom of this one of these days, why they let these clowns back in to their league, sullies their league, sullies the PGA, because now they're letting a guy come in who took blood money from the Saudis. Come on back in. Play with us. PGA Tour doesn't need Brooks Koepka. It doesn't need any of these people who played on the LIV Golf Tour. It doesn't need these people who want to go ahead and try and put the league out of business, try and get them to merge, if you will, trying to file lawsuits against them, which Koepka was not a part of. But some of the other LIV golfers got involved in lawsuits that were trying to press the PGA Tour to either absorb, be bought by, merge with LIV Golf, and bring LIV in and let those golfers go ahead and take part in the major PGA events. See, that's the key. When you're out of the PGA, you don't get a chance to play on these events. And there's other tournaments that you can't play in that are prestigious. And that's what they want to do. Koepka's in his prime, still. He's probably going to come back in. I'm sure he'll win once or twice, maybe. Who knows? Maybe he'll come back in and run the tour again, which I doubt. But at the end of the day, he is still, in my mind and in my opinion, I'm sorry, you're not going to change this. And the golfers out there, you're going to get angry with me. But I don't want you to get angry with me. I want you to look deeper into what you're allowing and what you're giving a pass to. A guy who took blood money from the Saudis is now back on the PGA Tour. And if you go to LIV Golf, look, I can't tell you not to go. There's people I know who want to buy tickets, got to go see LIV Golf because it's got money, 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 money. They're not the best golfers in the world. Listen up. They're not the best golfers in the world. Best golfers in the world, male golfers, are on the PGA Tour. Female golfers, the LPGA Tour, without question. So if you go to see LIV Golf, You're seeing secondary, second-rate, third-rate, maybe even fourth-rate golfers who are there who either can't get to play on the PGA Tour, don't want to, or they're just too greedy for their own good, where they got to take the money, the hundreds of millions of dollars. How much money do you need, Brooks? How much more money can you take? What are you going to do with the blood money that you earned, that is now yours, that now taints whoever and whatever you are? But as a fan, I can't stop you from going. I can only wonder why the PGA Tour did this. They don't have to. They don't need him. They've got plenty of talent. That's the other thing. The PGA Tour has an immense amount of young talent. And sure, I keep hearing from people, well, I wish they'd have another Tiger Woods. Not going to happen. Maybe in another lifetime. But they still have the best golfers on the planet. And as a guy who's not a golfer, hey, when the Masters comes around, I'm locked on the television. When there's certain tournaments, I got to stop. I'm in awe of what they can do. But I'm not in awe of DeChambeau, Rahm, Smith, Koepka, anybody else who has taken the money of butchers, of murderers, of people who are using the sport to make everybody think they're all just benevolent, wonderful human beings when they're not. Ask the people who've lived in Saudi Arabia and who have escaped, or the people who have been touched by their money in wars and skirmishes around the world and especially around the Middle East. Ask them what it's like. And then when you get a chance, and I would do this, ask Brooks what it was like to take that money. And ask him if he's comfortable now knowing where that money came from. Probably is, because he took it in the first place. But you see, Brooks, we know just how really greedy and how despicable you are for taking that money in the first place.
Ed Berliner, the fastest show in